Hi, I'm Santha Matto from Planet 3 Studios Architecture, and here's my colleague Kalhan from Planet 3 as well. We're happy to be associated with AEC World Expo. This month's theme is Interior Architecture, and we're here to take you through some of our projects which straddle both the worlds of interior as well as architecture. Kalhan?
I think before we get started, some words about our studio would be in order.
Yes.
We're a young studio and been around for a few years, maybe 10 years now. And in our studio, there's a wide mix of sort of talents that we get to work here. We have architects, interior designers, BTechs from IIT. Any kind of talent comes here. We have a wide range of age groups also working here, but most of them within the 20s and the 30s. By far, I'm the oldest, and Santha follows closely. The way of our doing work really, or creating design, is to work in collaborative sort of environments where everybody contributes in some way or other to the design process. And there's a mix of projects that we work on, so we are not totally partial to any particular style. We are not very partial to any category of projects or only certain aspects of design opportunities. So we do everything from, for instance, institutional architecture to product design, and that could include offices, nightclubs, and even retail. So
anything that excites us and comes along our way, we're interested in doing. Anything that gives us a challenge in design, we're interested in doing.
So a multidisciplinary sort of practice with a very young age demographic. We're pretty excited about what we do. I think our studio is more for social group than a professional group. So a lot of times our studio indulges in adventure activities. Our studio is always ready to party anytime, and that's kind of culture that we sort of encourage here. It's important to be in the right state of mind to produce the right kind of work, and we've always advocated that and believed in that. And it's with that approach that we have been reasonably successful in achieving certain quality in design, where people come with an unbiased, open mind to work and learn along the way. We also very strongly believe that we don't know everything about interior design or architecture, and we are willing to learn that. And sometimes learning that happens very closely working with the client, right?
Yes.
And we call that co-creation in a sense. So going with the open mind, understanding the client well, and using the client's stated and understated or unstated needs and inputs as the points of reference while designing. So that's what we are particularly good at.
I think one thing that we would also strongly advocate is looking at every project from a beginner's perspective. Even though we might have done say 40-50 offices or a few institutional projects or hospitality related projects, we would like to approach every project as it is our first project, and therefore not have preconceived notions that the office is supposed to look like this and look like that, and therefore add some freshness to each and every project.
Yeah, so that keeps us excited for different design opportunities, and the learning that happens one place is applied somewhere else, and that's very important to our design process as well. The very first project that we're going to share is with the Kalhan Institute of Technology. It's special to us for many reasons. It was the first architectural project, but this project also gave us the opportunity to integrate interiors into architecture on a very large scale. What we did here was that we brought the entire exterior or the campus of the building inside, and by doing so, we got the opportunity to use a lot of interior grade materials in an architectural project. So a lot of people who see it for the first time are not too sure if it's an interiors or an architecture project. Actually, it's both. And the interior and the outside spaces actually seamlessly flow into each other. The interesting thing with this project also is the way it actually dispels the notion of a separation between interiors and architecture, and how spaces can be created for students which are protected from the elements and still have the outdoor feel of a campus or a street. So with the street that we brought inside, it became a hospitable space where students meet, they talk, they generally spend time and hang out. And it's been a fair success because students actually love it. and it remains a favorite for various reasons for us. On the layout, you can see that street runs the entire length.
The campus that we've taken inside the building is what we call the street. The street has been, in the center we have plants, we have benches. So a whole lot of exterior grade furniture also bought in and they made a part of the interiors.
We have alcoves where we have activities happening. So these alcoves have a man-sized chessboard, half a basketball court. They have a table tennis board, internet cafe, all of the things that make it exciting. And it's that sort of a thinking that which is student-centric, which focuses on the needs and the aspirations of the students first, faculty second, and management third maybe. That makes it happen. We go back to these projects to see if they actually work and function as we envisaged, and in this case we're happy that this project succeeded, and students actually use these spaces and use them well. So on an average day, this space is full of activity. Building on the success of the earlier design with the Institute of Technology, we got this another opportunity to apply our ideas for a new building that they wanted to add in the campus. Now this building was to be housed in an old industrial sort of structure, and by speaking to students we understood that what they loved most about the earlier building was the sheer visual energy and the excitement of the design, the sheer funkiness of it, and we thought that would be interesting to actually work with that as a brief and take it further, and that's what we have done here. One of our initial interactions with the faculty and the students revealed that they wanted to revitalize the entire neighborhood of the building. They wanted to change the facade, and we did that. This building is going to serve life sciences and biotechnology learning center, and some of the forms and some of the symbols that we use inside actually evoke bits that are and borrowed from botany, zoology, and life sciences. So it's very connected to what it is supposed to do, but yet it seems very contemporary and forward-looking. So with the facade, we actually added a layer outside, and this facade is supposed to evoke the sway of tall grasses in strong wind, and it was loved for many reasons, and we built that. Inside, we gutted the core of the entire interior and just built up a level as well. So working with that, we got a mezzanine, and that mezzanine became a space for classrooms and labs that we added there. A monumental staircase, almost like a feature as soon as you enter, is the first thing that you see. And this staircase is covered in a sort of what can we call it? Basket weave. Yeah, it's covered in a basket weave, and that basket weave is again very organic and built out of steel though. But it looks quite unusual. I don't think staircases are normally done like this. Within the larger street area, again, the street was continued here. We have a chopal where actually students can sit. There is a tree on top which evokes that sense and the feel of a village square. And given the fact that this is finally like an educational village, so it sort of carries the theme forward.
There's also a heavy play on symbolism. That lotus lab that you see. Yes, this one. The lotus lab that you see actually houses the students who are going to be taught the Lotus software.
Lotus. And also the symbolism is also connected to, let's say, Indian traditions.
Oh, yes.
So the lotus as a seat of learning and its connection to Goddess Saraswati. It's an interesting sort of relation that students are invited to make on their own. There are partitions that imitate large leaves. There is a section of the property which is where the partitions look like cells, and these cells, it's obviously the cellular and molecular biology labs. But in this property, you do not really need signages to tell you where you are. You can just